I was about to shout out. Then I got a copy of the campus handout. I eventually became a master in street games. Chineke me. To the extent people started calling me my name. Yes.
Education goes beyond the classroom. Life is your teacher, and the streets hold the lessons.
Okay, this is where dreams get direction, mindsets upgraded, and the young people discover their power.
Welcome to the Streets University TV show. Yes, today is a very special day for us. I guess that's why we're hyper super excited. We have one of our mentors, one of our supporters, and one very special person in this country and the world at large. He is a youth empowerment motivator. He is known as the area Fada himself. He is an activist, if you want to call him that, but is more than that. He is one of the pioneer musicians. He's an actor, yes. And more importantly, the entertainment industry cannot be mentioned without him, because we have a lot of celebrities who passed from his own school, the Charly Boy show. Of course, by now, I'm sure you know who we're talking about. We're talking about none other than the Maverick, multi-talented Charly Boy, Charles Oputa, aka Charly Boy. You're welcome, sir.
Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Thank you for having me.
I forgot to mention that I'm also one of the children he gave birth to.
Prodigy.
And it's such a delight. It's really an honor also to have you here.
Thank you. Thank you.
Please, we can speak pidgin. This Una is already pidgin now.
Now you are the look now. Now you are the look. Now you are the look. I say you go tired.
All right. I think I'm more comfortable dressing you as area father. So I'll just stick to that. Area father.
No, you say father. No, not father.
That's too-
You don't come
That's
again.
too psychedelic.
Father. Say it like you're
Father.
angry. Because all they read now.
All right. So I think would like you to share your story with us, growing up as a young man. What was it like you growing up on the actual streets of life? So what was your childhood like? What were the challenges you faced? I mean, the youthful exuberance.
For this show. Oh, no, I won't make we talk for this show.
So, and how...
extra time more. This is not today.
So, and the pressures. I mean, how was it?
I'll go compress.
Yeah. So, but how was it like growing up, and how that has helped to shape you into becoming who you are today?
Okay. Good question. I come from a very good place, and I had people who actually make I come down to make I come down to the level. Actually, I because of my pedigree, I be an original Ajebo, okay? We chook head, enter street, go look for my own thing. Because what I could remember growing up was the rebellion against the kingdom of my father. Okay? If he, I noticed at the time it was like, because the man just they beat me anyhow. If Cain no do for am, he go take boxing, he go follow me. You know, if to say na today we would call that kind of thing child abuse. Okay, but I didn't understand what he was trying to do because he was trying to program me, and I didn't want to be programmed.
Yeah.
Okay, I wanted to come as I want, do what I want, and then discover life by myself. And that's why I said I left the pedigree I'm coming from, and I went into the bush myself to figure things out myself, you know? And that's why I had to put everything, all my experiences in this new book that I just finished writing.
Oh, really?
And it's called 999. Somebody come to tell me, say, if you turn them upside down. I say, who send you? Who send you to turn them upside down? You know? Yes. You know, so my childhood was very adventurous. I was causing a lot of problem and a lot of heartache for my parents because they no be know whether I go lost or whether, you know, it's a little bit like the story of the prodigal son for those people who read their Bible.
Okay.
You understand, you know. But later, what happened was that, you know, I came to the light, and my folks, my parents, realized much later, say all that punishment, the discipline, the morality, the principles, the values, the moral codes, they still, those are the things I'm hanging on to in the now. You understand? So, you know, this is a lesson for parents also, because never you for 1 minute think that your messaging or your programming ain't working.
Yeah.
You have to keep at it.
Yes.
You have to keep at it because my father, when he realized that, you know, way before, you know, Ikpai, when he realized that, you know, those programming was not lost on me, he turned out to be the happiest father on earth because of his son, Charly Boy. You know, no, he said my son no be Charly Boy, not Charles Oputa.
Charles Oputa.
Point
Also,
of correction.
as some great man, I mean, I also was privileged to meet him, and yes, it's good to have such a father.
You know the story of me and Helen now. We go way
Just
back.
a bit.
She's one of my best students.
Yeah.
This one.
Yes.
You get sense.
I remember those days, Miss Bakwe, you know. It's been foul leg, yeah.
Yes.
Foul leg. This even brings us to that. Your show, the Charly Boy show. I mean, now we have a lot of skits makers and all of that. But Nigeria then, before the era of social media and all that, your show, the Charly Boy show, was the show. And even till now, there are many things that happen on that show that we miss. We really would want to reenact if it's possible. What were the things that, and you worked with a lot of youths back then, and today they are big men, big women making their names and doing their thing. What was that thing that made you? Because anybody that came to Bagada Day, you know, they call it Charly Boy Bus, the Charly Boy House. But anybody that came there, then you allowed everyone to express themselves freely. So there was no like, oh, it has to be rigid, it has to be like this, you have to say it like this. Just allowed everybody to. So what was it, that thing that made you feel, okay, I can work with youths, I can support, because you used your platform to push them out, you know? And so what was that thing that made you say, okay, I want to work with youths and not just my age group?
Why not? Because that's the thing that keeps me youthful and useful, working with younger people. And I learn a lot, okay? Because I don't claim to know anything. Yeah. And I don't think I know much. So, and that's why I love to partner with exceptional people, especially young people who are already focused. Because don't forget, I used to be an underdog. My parents didn't even believe in me. Even the country, Nigeria, they say, look at this one. If not, Obasanjo, it would say, that Jagra man. You know? Mhm. That was the impression he had. But that's all Charly Boy. That's not who I am, really, you know? And this, I figure, is the bane of pioneers, those people, trendsetters, you know, because nobody remember how it really started. The punk culture started from me, yeah? And there were a lot of things. It wasn't like I knew what I was doing or I had everything figured out. No, now. I failed so many times. It's countless times that I've failed. I tried to do this, it's not working, you know. But my forte at that time was that, you know, I always had the eye, the ears for good ideas and people who stand out, exceptional people. So because I was all the time, you know, in collaboration with them, you know, my whole thing was I was an embodiment of, you know, different ideas, just they pepper me because I had those young people who I was surrounded by. I used to always, I was always anxious, you know, excited anytime before we do like an episode because I knew I was going to learn one or two things from even the people who thought they were learning from me too. You understand? So it worked out beautifully well.
How have you been? How have you managed to still stay relevant? Because you're still very much relevant. In fact, I think I follow you on social media. I follow you on Facebook, and I noticed that you're quick to jump on challenges, even, you know, that resonate with the youth. So how have you managed to stay like that? Because a lot of youth still look up to you, even though their generations apart, but you are still able to, they look up to you, you dress like them, you talk like them, you do challenges, you do skits and all of that. How have you been
But
able
now
to
me start skit now
stay relevant?
on the
And
Charly Boy show.
yeah.
That's why I say that's the bane of pioneers. Nobody knows how I started. I started quite a number of things. I don't want to get into that. It's not like I'm bragging or boasting about that. But anybody who's observant, who has been observant in this industry for the past 50 years will know that much. You understand? So I've been able to keep it up, still be fresh, still be current, is because I work with, you know, people like all these kind of people, you know. So I'm constantly fed with new ideas and challenged by new things. And, you know, I'm still a student, even though I think I should be a professor by now, but I'm still a student.
So you're a professor and a student.
Hey, man. You know something.
Okay. The second part of the question is, even though you still are very much in sync with what is happening with the youths, but still, how do you manage to help them, guide them, you know, that through that path of still staying, I mean, focusing on the right things, on the virtues and not the vices, especially with this, of course, social media, drug abuse. There's a lot of, you know, vices out there. Despite your, you know, but you're still able to carry them along. You're still able to help guide them, mentor them through the path of
Because
becoming great
whatever they're
people.
going through, I've been through it 1,000 and million times. I've had a lot of fuck ups, you know. Can I say use that word? Yeah. Fuck ups. That's what it is. I made a lot of mistakes. Okay? So who best to teach the young people? In return, they tell me about what's in, what's out, the hit and the misses. you know, in terms of fashion, in terms of what's happening in the now,
Yeah.
and so on and so forth. So, you know, we get along pretty well. So, hey, you know, like I tell you now, originally, I be aje butter wait on aje pako. You understand? Aje paki dim.
So Pako is the middle level. Paki is the
Che,
down.
the deep
So
one.
there's Ajebota, Ajepako, and Ajepaki.
So my own go be aje paki. Hey, Chineke, man. Hey, ndị Igbo ndị a, Chineke.
See, there's also something I always want to ask you because a lot of youths out there are going through so much, like Frederica mentioned. What's the turning point for you when you were, like I said, being disciplined by your parents and it was looking like nothing is going to happen? So what was that turning point for you? And you said, okay, you know what? Despite my own challenges that I'm facing, as your career and all that, I'm going to make this work. And you decided to say, okay, let me start. And then you started seeing the results of it.
You know, everything has consequences, even if you're doing good. Okay? There's somebody out there, a hater or beefer, who ain't gonna like what you're doing.
Exactly.
But you're doing good. Yeah? And when I decided to disown my parents, I did it with my full chest. I said, fuck you all, man. You know why? Because in secondary school, my best friend, he no get papa, he no get mama. Then they contribute money for her to come school. But he was the best in his class. So where am I going by saying that? Where I'm going is the fact that success is an individual thing. It's not dependent on the home you're coming from, whether your parents are rich or whether they're poor. It's an individual thing, and you have to want it badly. Now, for somebody like me, I was living in the shadow of somebody who was like so overwhelming, and I was sick and tired, you know, being referred as somebody's son. I wanted my own. I wanted to have my own fame, have my own money, you know. And because of my rebellious streak or my stubbornness, but also with a heavy dose of consistency, tenacity, audacity, yes, I was able to make my dream come true. It wasn't that easy initially because my father's voice kept ringing in my head. And each time it did, I would, you know, replace it with a more positive energy, positive messaging, because I never knew poverty till I disowned my parents and moved to the village. We came face to face with the poverty we dey talk about. No be here, because now bread and groundnut na im I take grow up for village. When there was no food, I couldn't even put food on the table. I didn't have a car, I didn't have no money, but I said, at least I have my life. I'm calling the shots. I have nobody hanging over my head. And somehow, by just consistency and tenacity, I made it work. And that's what I advocate for any young person. Don't let anybody kill your dream, not even your parents. But be sure that, like I said, there's consequences everywhere, even doing good. So if you're going to disown your parents like me, better be ready
To bear the consequences.
to bear the consequences of that decision.
So,
And if I can do it, it means anybody can, as long as they believe and they're consistent with
I
their
think I like the
input.
consistency part. I like the But that's the part. Don't disown your parents.
You don't have the
If
energy.
they worry you too much now, like my own worry me.
I'm so happy that we're having this discussion because for what you represent, the brand, a lot of following and all of that, this is a message that many need to hear. In fact, it's not just youths. Yes, youths can hear it because they need it. Adults as well. These days, a lot of adults are wondering what they're doing with themselves. So this is a good way to say, okay, this is the direction you should go, and focus, be determined, be consistent, be audacious. Thank you, sir. Do you have any
Advice.
advice that you want to give out there?
Yeah, I already said it.
Consistency, that's the one more.
Don't let anybody kill your dream. Don't let anybody tell you it is not possible.
But Nigeria can actually frustrate your dreams.
Oh, yes, now that is why I am the president of all frustrated Nigerians. Not tell anybody. Yes.
Yeah, girl, which also there's something that or I want Stevie to do with me. Now, the Switch University, in case we do not know, the poem, the Switch University inspiration came from Area Fada himself.
Chineke.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. He brought the inspiration and I wrote the poem. And now we have the poem, and then my book came, and now the project came, and now here we are having the TV show. And hey, look who's here! Everybody, oh, clap, clap, clap! Oh. So we're going to do that poem, the Switch University, because it's a very powerful poem. It says a lot of message. That poem,
Helen, you sure I remember the poem
you
now?
know what it's all. We have it to send you something.
Yes,
I've sent it.
okay.
So we're going to do the poem because the poem says a lot about his story, his journey, his struggle, but it also represents that of every youth. I believe every, not just Nigerian youth, well, many youth in Africa, because we have this African challenge, but generally, we all go through that in life in our different ways, you know. So we'll do the poem. I already did the poem with your father, yeah. You know, and we'll hear the words. The words are very strong. I think it's something everybody should hear and, you know, take one or two lessons from it. But most of all, is to celebrate an icon that the world deserves to celebrate.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.
You're very welcome, sir.
Go away. The Street University TV show will be right back.
You wonder why I have an area boy attitude. You wonder why it seems like I'm up to no good. You wonder why I attract headlines like magnets. You wonder how high is my intellect.
Well, let me ask you, Mr. Professor.
Yeah?
Have you ever been to the Street University? Where you learn the skill called rugged ability.
Mm-hmm.
Where you get hurt, make mistakes and corrections with
so much intensity. Yeah. Well, this is how I got my admission into this great institution. I bought my examination form with my creative intention.
Tell me about it.
I passed all the questions without any lecturer's correction. Yes. Because in the street university, nobody gives you any direction. I forced my way to start a new session.
Wow.
Yes, by fire, by force. Go punish all of them. This is something I really must mention. The Street University has no patience for anything but action.
Wow.
Yeah. We only have one faculty, and that is the department we cherish with passion. I was made to pursue my goal with so much aggression. Good God Almighty. Which incidentally made my classmates suffer so much intimidation. You see, our street classroom gave us hardship and discomfort as our continuous assessment. Each semester seems to bring in a new disaster. Yeah. I was about to shout out. Then I got a copy of the campus handout. I eventually became a master in street games. Chineke me. To the extent people started calling me my name. Yes.
So now,
We are first-class student of the Department of Chetadino Frustration. Yes. Faculty of Brutality. All in the street university.
we
We have overcome expulsion
rejection.
and dejection. Now we're giving attention. What are we going to do with it?
Accommodation.
Understanding of the Now you understand, you all understand the reason behind my eccentricity. Because I have an area boy mentality.
This is why we'll always connect to the
streets
in our
community. Because I've learned that an area boy be, or girl, can be useful to this.
Away, the Street University TV show will be right back.
Now, this brings us to the end of today's episode of the Street University TV show. We hope you all had a lovely time like we did with the amazing Charles Oputa, aka Area Fada.
Yes, so
it was an honor. It was an honor, sir, to have you on our show today. And we look forward to doing this again sometime soon.
Yes, sir.
Meanwhile, keep shining and keep growing.
This is the Street University TV show.
Class dismissed.
Oh yeah, make you listen. This my Street University. From the gutter where they rise up high, with the hustle where they touch the sky. No be textbook, not the street way teach. Street University.